Hello students, welcome to today's English class. As you know, I am Roopna Ravindran, Assistant Professor of English, Government Degree College, Chevalla. Today let's discuss the poem Ecology written by A.K. Ramanujan. A.K. Ramanujan is an Indian writer. He was born in 1929 and he died in 1993. So he was known as a poet, a translator, folklorist and philologist. He was born in Mysore. He did his education also in Mysore. He earned degrees at the University of Mysore and Deccan College in Pune. He received his doctorate from Indiana University. He wrote both in Kannada and in English. In his poetry, he has discussed various issues such as hybridity of his existence and all. Ramanujan once observed that he was the hyphen in the phrase Indo-American. So, born in India and has been to America for his education and living, his work displays an intense engagement with Indian tradition and culture. And also he has incorporated modernist issues like hybridity, transculturalism and other issues. So Ramanujan was awarded the Padma Shri in 1976 and the Sahitya Academy Award in 1999. His most important collections include Second Sight, published in 1986, from which this poem Ecology is taken, and Selected Poems, published in 1976, and The Striders, published in 1966. The collection of poems of A.K. Ramanujan, published in 1995, received a Sahitya Academy Award. So his scholarly disposition is evidently seen in his writings. He made valuable contributions in linguistics and also cultural studies. For much of his career, Ramanujan taught at the University of Chicago. In 1976, the Indian government honored him with the Padma Shri honor. His academic research ranged in Kannada, Tamil, Telugu and also Sanskrit. Now let us move on to this particular poem, Ecology. It is a characteristic Ramanujan poem as it is mentioned in your textbook. So you can find both tradition and modernity in this poem. And the speaker's attitude reflects an innate empathy with tradition and an ironic self-distancing. So here you have two characters, one is son and the other is mother. So son represents modernity and mother represents tradition. Let us go to the poem. Here is the poem Ecology. The day after the first rain, for years I would come home in a rage. For I could see from a mile away, out there, red champak trees had done it again. So here the speaker is the son. He is talking about his anger. So once it rains, then the champak trees in his courtyard blooms and it gives a strong smell, strong fragrance which gives a binding migraine to his mother. So for I could see a mile away, it's so beautiful that you can vividly see the red flowers from a mile away. Our three champak trees, red champak trees had done it again, had burst into flowers. So what mistake it has done. It had burst into flowers and given mother her first binding migraine of the season. So once it blooms and its flowering season comes, then the mother gets her binding migraine. So migraine is such a strong, severe headache you get and you have the tendency to vomit also. So here the mother feels very sick and that's why the son is so much bothered and he is angry about the red champak trees. With their street-long, heavy hung yellow pollen fog of a fragrance, no wind could sift. So that particular flower has a heavy hung smell, fragrance, which comes out of the pollen fog. So that pollen distributes everywhere in the wind. So nobody can stop it. No door could shut out from the black pillared house whose walls had ears and eyes. So we try to shut the door, but then even that door can't stop the fragrance from coming in. It seems that even the walls and even the doors of our house had ears and eyes. So he is personifying the house here. He is saying that the fragrance is so strong and suffocating. The yellow pollen of the flowers spreads everywhere in the area, and even the doors of his house couldn't prevent that such a strong smell from entering his house. The walls of his house normally absorbs almost everything. What all sounds we can check in the next line. Scales, smells, bone creaks, nightly visiting voices, and were porous like us. So the walls of his house normally used to absorb almost every sound and every sight also, but the walls couldn't prevent the fragrance of the flowers of red champak trees. So here the scales are the flakes that peel out from the skin, and all kinds of smells. So these doors and walls try to stop all kinds of smell, but then those things couldn't stop the strong fragrance of the flowers of red champak trees. So what does the sun decide? No door could shut out from our black pillared house whose walls had ears and eyes, scales, smells, bone creaks, nightly visiting voices, and were porous like us. So the sun was so disturbed by these fragrance of red champak tree. So he decides to cut the tree. He decides to end the mess that is created by these 3 red champak trees, and that is why he decides to cut the trees, so that his mother will not be disturbed any further by this strong smell. But the mother, after coming to know about this decision of the son, she gets very angry. She prevents him from this cruel and thoughtless action. But mother, flashing her temper like the mother's twisted silver, grandchildren's knickers. So mother is very angry that it is like it's compared to twisted silver, the silver rod of the house of the building. So it seems as if that rod is twisted by her anger, and it is shining by the wetness of her grandchildren's knickers. Wet as the cold pack on her head would not let us cut down a flowering tree. So she is ready to bear the headache, but she doesn't want her son to cut the tree. She has some emotional attachment with the trees, so she doesn't want the nature to be disturbed. She asks him to be mindful of the positive sides of the tree, and she considers her mother nature important. She conveys him that that particular tree is as old as her, almost as old as her, seeded, she said, by a passing bird's providential dropping. So somebody didn't plant the tree over there. It has been a good omen for them, particularly for the mother. So this tree had been fertilized by the droppings of passing birds, and she considers it providential droppings. Okay, lucky because it happens at the right time, but without being plant. So she considers it a good omen, and it is a good sign for her. The tree provides many basketful of flowers for her to offer to her god. So that is also there, to give her gods and her daughters and daughters basketful of annual flowers. So she is happy that even her daughter and granddaughters can offer those flowers to her favorite god in future. So she is ready to bear the migraine in the flowering season, but she is not at all ready for cutting the tree. And for one line of cousins adore of migraine in season. So this she is considering even this migraine as a gift in this particular season. The poem conveys us the message that we should give importance to Mother Nature as well. This young man is giving so much of importance to his mother. He is devoted to his mother, but then he is negligent when coming to the nature. Our mother is dear to us, but we need to care and protect the nature as well, Mother Nature as well. So in this poem we can find references to Hindu heritage also, where the author mentions about offering flowers to the god. The poet has also brought about the difference between generations. In the beginning itself, I have told that modernism is represented by the young man and traditionalism is being represented by his mother. So we can find the kind of generation gap between the mother and the son. The old generation are emotional and they stick to their particular religious beliefs and they care a lot about the nature. But then the son is representing the new generation, and the new generation need to be made aware about the conservation of ecosystem, preservation of nature and all. So we can understand that the whole poem, the structure of the whole poem is in a format of a single line, and he has just demarcated the ideas with comma and other punctuation mark, and he has put a full stop. The author has put a full stop only in the end of the poem. Here we have the glossary, where we have certain important words. So ecology, the word means that relation of plants and living creatures to each other and to their environment. So we need to preserve ecology for better sustenance in the environment. Rage is a feeling of violent anger that is difficult to control. We can call this young man as an angry young man. He is very much angry because of the strong fragrance caused by the trees. Migraine is a severe headache. Pollen is a fine powder on the flower which is distributed everywhere due to the strong wind. Sift is to sieve. You separate the fine things from coarse particles. Here you have fog. Fog is F-O-G. Fog is a thick cloud just above the ground, or it is made of water, and your environment, your atmosphere becomes hazy. It will be difficult for you to see. Scales are the flakes that peel off from skin. Porous means you find small holes that allow water or air to pass through slowly. Here the walls of his house are porous. Due to the porous nature, due to those small holes on the walls are not able to stop the strong fragrance from coming inside the room. Providential. Providential means lucky. Lucky in the sense that these droppings happen at the right time, and nobody is planning that particular fertilization process. Dower is an endowment or a gift. So here you have certain questions from the text, and those questions come in comprehension 2. So first question given in comprehension 2 is, attempt a character sketch of the mother as portrayed in the poem Ecology. So we understand that the mother is very much devoted to nature. She considers um, the tree equal to her. She says that it is elder to her. She has great love and respect for the champak trees in her yard, and she is also ready to sacrifice her pain for a better cause. So she understands the value of nature, and she sees that her pain, her severe migraine is nothing with respect to the pain that Mother Nature is bearing because of our human beings' way of living. And the son expresses anger, but the mother is also angry when the son says that he is going to cut the tree. So we can see that her beliefs are very much traditional, and she believes in Hinduism, and she does puja and all, and she is very satisfied and very happy to know that these red champak trees can offer flowers to her favorite god, and even her grandchildren can, and future generations can offer these flowers. She has some kind of emotional attachment to the tree. So earlier she said that there had been a time when she could remember and provide a basket full of flowers to the god. So all the women in the particular community could offer basket full of flowers to their god. There is some sentence grammatical mistake in the sentence. Just ignore that and write it properly on your own. She is very positive. We understand that this mother is very positive, and we can see her happy talking about the nature, and she is very much concerned about her future generation also. So she becomes a strong spokesperson for the protection of nature and her trees. So these are only specific points that I am giving you. You can write the comprehension on your own. Second question is, describe the champak trees and their effect on the people and the place. So these three champak trees have a heavy hung yellow pollen fog of fragrance. So this has a yellow powder. These flowers have a yellow powder in them, and these yellow powder spread everywhere during this particular rainy season. And this fragrance, this strong smell, gives the mother in this poem a migraine, and she suffers from continuous headache and vomiting sensation. So this tree looks very beautiful, and it is visible from a mile away. It looks the look is spectacular, but then the effect of that migraine is painful on the mother. But the mother is very much concerned about the tree, and she says that it is as old as her and much more elder to her, and this tree is grown out of the bird's providential droppings. Compare and contrast the attitudes of the speaker and his mother. You can clearly find a kind of generation gap between the two. Son is worried about his mother, but he is not at all particular about the mother nature. He is angry because the flowers of the red champak tree caused a severe headache to his mother. But we can see that mother is worried about mother nature. So, she is not at all worried about her headache. Son is ready to cut the trees to rescue his mother from migraine. He represents the thoughtless new generation. Mother is rooted in tradition, so she is thinking about the consequences of cutting trees. Son represents the educated modern man and luxury, and he forgets his duty to nature. Explain how Ramanujan humanizes the issue of ecology. So Ramanujan uses these story of mother and son to give us a moral that we have to care about our nature, about our environment and surroundings. Then only we can survive in this particular ecosystem. The mother, we can find that there is a mother and son in the poem, the mother representing tradition and son representing modernity. She has great love and respect for champak trees, and she used to collect a basket full of flowers from the trees and offer their gods, but the fragrance of flowers gave her severe attack of migraine, and her loving son decides to cut the trees down, but she strongly protests against her son. She has a kind of emotional connection with the trees, but the son forgets his duty to nature, and we can understand that A.K. Ramanujan is taking an Indian approach to ecology. Last question is, discuss the tone and use of irony in ecology. So what do you mean by tone? Tone is the mood, attitude or emotional sensibility of a written work. So you can find the tension that the son is experiencing throughout the poem, because he is not thinking about the larger problem. He is only concerned about the familial problem. He is not thinking much about what is going to happen in the environment if he cuts 3 trees at a stretch. Okay. So we also feel the kind of tension that he is going through, but then mother gets angry and she tries to pacify him, saying that environment is more important than her migraine. Irony is a literary technique in which what is written or stated is different from or opposite to what is expected. So here the irony is indicated when the mother angrily protests the idea of cutting down the trees. Actually, she should have supported cutting the trees because it is she who is suffering from migraine. But then she is very thoughtful and she is mindful about nature, and she doesn't want to cut the trees at all. She is ready to silently bear the migraine. She has a kind of emotional attachment to the tree, saying that it is as old as herself. So that is all about ecology. Thank you for listening.